On the quiet morning of June 12, 1962, a routine head count at Alcatraz Penitentiary revealed an eerie scene. 3 figures lay still in their cells, seemingly asleep. But upon closer inspection, these figures turned out to be nothing more than crude dummy heads crafted from paper mache and topped with stolen hair from the prison barber shop. The truth was chillingly clear. The real occupants of those cells, Frank Morris, a convicted armed robber, and Clarence and John Anglin, notorious bank-robbing brothers, had vanished into thin air. The guard's alarm echoed through the halls, setting off a chain reaction that summoned state and federal authorities. Thus began an exhaustive hunt for the elusive trio. Investigations unveiled a meticulously planned escape. The men had painstakingly widened the grill openings in their cell walls using spoons pilfered from the mess hall. To conceal their efforts, they fashioned artificial grills from papier-mâché, sourced from magazines in the prison library. With their path cleared, they ascended the concrete back wall of the cell block, using plumbing piping as makeshift steps. When they reached the roof, the fugitives navigated a large ventilation shaft, emerging onto the top of the building. From there, they descended a towering exterior pipe, dropping 50 feet to the ground below. Cutting through barbed wire and scrambling down a steep embankment, they reached the water's edge. Their subsequent movements vanished into darkness. Alcatraz, also known as the Rock, nestled in the San Francisco Bay, was more than just a prison. It was a symbol of impenetrable security. Yet its history was riddled with tales of daring escape attempts. Since its conversion into a federal penitentiary in 1934, Alcatraz had housed some of America's most notorious criminals, including Al Capone and Machine Gun Kelly. But among the myriad of intriguing characters to have passed through the halls of the Rock, none captivates the imagination quite like Robert the Birdman Stroud. A self-taught ornithologist, Stroud's journey from prisoner to renowned avian expert is as fascinating as it is improbable. Transferred to Alcatraz following a violent altercation that claimed the life of a prison guard, Stroud's reputation as both a genius and a psychopath preceded him. Yet, it was his passion for ornithology that would define his time on the island. In the confines of his cell, Stroud immersed himself in the study of birds, transforming it into a makeshift laboratory where he conducted groundbreaking research. Despite the limitations of his surroundings, he authored several books on ornithology, showcasing a depth of knowledge that belied his circumstances. But perhaps most astonishing of all was Stroud's discovery of a cure for a common avian hemorrhaging disease, a feat that earned him recognition and respect within the scientific community. As the doors of Alcatraz closed for the final time in 1963, it left behind a legacy of mystery and intrigue. Despite its grim reputation, Alcatraz draws tourists by the masses, its allure rivaling that of the iconic Golden Gate Bridge and the famed cable cars. Today, the island stands as a testament to both its storied past and its enduring mystique within the Golden Gate National Recreation Area. Navigating your journey to Alcatraz demands a bit of strategic planning. Public transport or a taxi ride is your best bet, given the steep parking prices in this slice of San Francisco. And securing tickets in advance is key, especially during peak seasons, to avoid the disappointment of sold-out tours. And allocate at least 3 solid hours to immerse yourself fully in the experience. If you visited the Rock before, let us know the most memorable part of your experience in the comments. Before embarking, a scaled-down model of the island offers a glimpse of what lies ahead, and catching the earliest ferry ensures a less crowded voyage, granting you a quieter exploration. The journey clocks in at a mere 15 minutes. Opt for the top deck, to soak in panoramic views of the island, along with the iconic Golden Gate Bridge, Bay Bridge, and the sprawling cityscape. The boat ride alone is a highlight of the Alcatraz experience, and with departures every half hour back to the mainland, there's no rush to catch one. The brief orientation, led by a park ranger, marks your arrival, followed by the freedom to roam. You should also consider snagging a guidebook for deeper insights into the island's history and landmarks. It's important to know the roads and walkways on Alcatraz are steep. The distance from the dock to the cell house is approximately a quarter mile, and the elevation change is equivalent of walking up a 13-story building. However, a shuttle is available for those with mobility limitations. The cell house, a grim marvel of steel and concrete, once housed a staggering 600 inmates. Divvied up into blocks, each cell was a cozy 5 by 9 feet, just big enough to stifle your breath. Block A was the black sheep of the bunch, hardly used for housing. Block D, however, was reserved for the unlucky few, banished to solitary confinement. Solitary could stretch from days to weeks, feeling like an eternity. Counting inmates was a meticulous affair, far from the twice-a-day routine some imagined. With the clang of the bell, inmates lined up for their head count. A dance repeated a staggering 13 times daily. From dawn's first light to lights out at 9:30, the count was a relentless ritual, ensuring no prisoner slipped through the cracks. Life on Alcatraz was a stark existence, governed by strict rules and sparse privileges. Upon arrival, inmates were subjected to a thorough process, from donning the standard prison garb to undergoing strip searches and medical examinations. The showers were intentionally regulated to a warm temperature to prevent the prisoners from acclimating themselves to cold water, similar to the frigid bay. Yet, beyond the basics of food, clothing, and shelter, additional privileges like access to the library had to be earned. The library, a sanctuary of sorts, offered inmates a chance to escape into the world of literature, albeit under careful supervision. Each morning, those with library privileges submitted requests for reading materials, which were then delivered to their cells with any objectionable content removed. For many, this was a lifeline, a chance to delve into subjects ranging from law to languages, or even pursue academic endeavors through correspondence courses. In the 1950s, additional privileges were introduced, including access to radio headsets and movie screenings. However, these luxuries were not immune to revocation in the face of misconduct. Among the notable perks was membership in the Alcatraz Band, dubbed the Rock Islanders, whose rehearsals and performances provided a rare outlet for self-expression within the confines of the island. A visit to the warden's office, now a modest museum, offers a glimpse into the island's storied past. Here, relics of Alcatraz's early days, including photographs and a model of the island, paint a picture of the strict regime enforced by the first warden, James A. Johnston. Under his tenure, a rule of silence prevailed, with inmates permitted to speak only during meals or recreation. This silence extended even to those consigned to solitary confinement, where isolation became their constant companion. For those who dared to test the boundaries, the punishment was swift and severe. Solitary confinement, a grim reality for many, plunged inmates into a world of total darkness and silence, a punishment that weighed heavily on the psyche of even the most hardened individuals. As you navigate the corridors of Alcatraz, you're reminded not only of the resilience of those who dwelled within its walls, but also of the enduring legacy of Alcatraz, a place where the human spirit was tested and, in some cases, triumphed against all odds. Within the confines of Alcatraz, a rigid schedule governed the daily lives of its inhabitants. 3 square meals punctuated the monotony, with breakfast served promptly at 6:45 a.m., lunch following at 11:40 a.m., and dinner, a reasonable affair, at 4:25 p.m. Despite the restrictions, the fair reportedly stood out as a beacon of culinary excellence within the federal prison system. Journeying through the kitchen, one could marvel at the culinary prowess of the staff, some boasting backgrounds in the culinary arts. Former inmate Brian Conway reminisced fondly of the fair, declaring it superior to typical prison cuisine. From hearty dinners of meat, beans, and bread, to suppers featuring chili and tomatoes, each meal was a welcome respite from the monotony of prison existence. For those not consigned to solitary, work became a welcome distraction from the drudgery of prison life. From laundry duty to woodworking, labor provided not only a means of passing time, but also an opportunity for sentence reduction. The industrious could shave days off their incarceration, a small reprieve in an otherwise unforgiving environment. Venturing beyond the cell house, you'll encounter a panorama of historic landmarks. The island's iconic lighthouse, a testament to its maritime heritage, stands sentinel over remnants of bygone eras. Constructed in 1854, it was the first lighthouse built on the west coast. Nearby, the remains of the warden's house evoke a sense of authority long since faded. On the southern shore, the vestiges of former structures yield to sweeping vistas of downtown San Francisco, a testament to nature's reclamation. The island's western side offers serene garden vistas and glimpses of a bygone baseball field, once a sanctuary for recreation amid confinement. Exploring the eastern reaches of the island, you'll encounter relics of a different era. The guardhouse in Sally Port, dating back to 1857, stood as a testament to the Rock's storied past. Nearby lay the remains of the Officers' Club. Its destruction by fire is a stark reminder of the island's turbulent history. If you're enjoying our presentation of The Rock, please take this moment to like and subscribe to our channel. We appreciate it deeply. Despite its imposing facade, Alcatraz could not contain the indomitable spirit of its inhabitants. Over the years, 14 attempts involving 36 prisoners were made, each one a testament to the desperation and determination of those confined within its walls. Though most ended in failure, the audacity of these attempts only served to underscore the enduring allure of Alcatraz, the rock that defied escape. The saga of escape attempts from Alcatraz reads like a catalogue of audacious gambits and tragic outcomes. Among the daring few who sought freedom, Joe Bowers stands as a somber reminder of the risks involved. His attempt to scale the prison fence ended in tragedy as he fell victim to a fatal gunshot wound. Theodore Cole and Ralph Rowe, undeterred by Bowers' fate, embarked on their own ill-fated bid for freedom. Their plan to swim to San Francisco was swiftly foiled by a sudden storm, casting them adrift at sea, never to be seen again. Yet, in the waning days of 1945, John Giles dared to dream of liberation. Through meticulous planning and resourcefulness born of desperation, he fashioned an army uniform from scraps gleaned during his laundry duties. With his disguise in place, Giles embarked on a journey towards freedom, his makeshift outfit a testament to his determination. Against all odds, Giles made it to Angel Island, tantalizingly close to the mainland. His moment of triumph was short-lived, as authorities swiftly apprehended him and returned him to the confines of Alcatraz. The Battle of Alcatraz stands as a harrowing chapter in the island's tumultuous history, a desperate clash between inmates and guards that culminated in tragedy. In 1946, 6 prisoners, emboldened by a daring plan, seized control of the prison grounds only to find themselves thwarted by a locked recreation yard. In a frenzy of panic, they incited a riot, exchanging gunfire with their captors in a desperate bid for freedom. For 2 days, chaos reigned, leaving 3 prisoners and 2 guards dead in its wake. Amidst the tumult, a handful of inmates attempted to flee the island's confines, braving the treacherous waters of San Francisco Bay. Yet, their bids for freedom ended in tragedy, as the unforgiving currents claimed the lives that vanished into the depths. But it was not until 6 months later that the true audacity of escape reached its zenith. 3 inmates, led by the cunning Frank Morris, executed a meticulously crafted plan to break free from Alcatraz's iron grip. Armed with resourcefulness and intellect, Morris devised an ingenious scheme that accounted for every contingency. Under the cover of darkness, the trio set their plan into motion, fashioning an inflatable raft from stolen rubber raincoats and painstakingly crafted life jackets. With meticulous precision, they assembled their makeshift vessel, concealed their tools, and awaited their moment of reckoning. Their escape from Alcatraz remains shrouded in mystery, their fate unknown. Fragments of their equipment were discovered near Angel Island, hinting at their intended destination. Yet, whether they successfully reached the mainland or met a watery demise remains a mystery. However, one theory suggests the 3 men memorized the schedule for the supply boats that would make daily trips back and forth to the island. They secured electrical wire and ingeniously repurposed it as a makeshift rope, allowing them to discreetly tow themselves behind a supply boat. Upon reaching the halfway mark, they abandoned their rafts and met with an accomplice who facilitated their successful escape. In the years following the daring escape from Alcatraz, rumors and speculations swirled around the fate of the fugitives. From reported sightings to cryptic messages, tantalizing clues teased at the possibility of their survival. Family members and former associates lent credence to the notion that the escapees had eluded capture, fueling hope and intrigue among the public. Some of the Anglin family members have reportedly received anonymous postcards and holiday cards in the mail from time to time. Unsigned, however, one was signed by a Jerry, another signed by Jerry and Joe. Skepticism persisted, particularly within the halls of the FBI. Despite the persistence of rumors, the FBI closed its case in 1979, officially declaring the 3 men presumed drowned in the unforgiving, frigid waters of the bay. Water with a temperature likely in the mid-50s at the time, yet for many, the mystery of their fate remained unresolved, a lingering enigma that defied easy explanation. You can visit the cells of these men and see them the way they left them. As you peer into these cramped confines, you are transported back to the daring days when these inmates plotted their improbable bids for freedom. The cells themselves serve as silent witnesses to their ingenuity and resilience, offering a glimpse into the meticulous planning and resourcefulness that characterized their escape attempts. The tour of Alcatraz offers more than just a glimpse into the lives of its most notorious escapees. You also have the opportunity to view the cells of other infamous inmates, including Al Capone and George Machine Gun Kelly. These cells, with their stark simplicity and oppressive atmosphere, offer a sobering reminder of the harsh realities of life within the confines of the Rock. Additionally, you can explore the cell of Robert The Birdman Stroud. Though he gained fame for his expertise in ornithology, Stroud spent much of his life behind bars, including 17 years at Alcatraz. His cell, preserved as a historical artifact, offers a glimpse into the solitary existence he endured during his time on the island. Alcatraz may have been a desolate place of isolation, punishment, and suffering, but it's now a national park, and you have to admit, it's one of the most fascinating national park sites you can visit. If you enjoyed this video, we would greatly appreciate it if you leave us a like. And remember to subscribe. We'd love to have you join us at our next destination. Take a look at this next video. We're sure you'll enjoy.